like to welcome you to Magic's Athletic Training Presents The Coach's Corner with Coach Lay. I am Coach Oladile with Magic's Athletic Training. Today we're going to be going over the benefits to HIIT training and more specifically, what are the adaptations from the body, what's the body's response, and whether or not HIIT is the right style of training for you and your fitness goals. But before we go any further, please make sure to like, share, and to subscribe down below. Now, when we go into HIIT training, what exactly is HIIT and why are we doing it? Is it right for you? Or should we go along the lines of a more traditional strength-based training or a more cardio-based training? So let's go in directly as to what exactly it is that HIIT is doing. So what HIIT does is that it emphasizes a bioenergetic adaptations for a more efficient energy transfer within the metabolic pathways by using predetermined intervals and rest periods. So what it's doing is that it's actually putting a greater demand on the body, creating greater stress and greater adaptations by doing interval work of predetermined time periods, whether that be 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, with a predetermined rest period. Now, why is it that it is doing that? That's where we have to go into energy systems and what energy systems that the body is using for the actual training itself. The body has 4 different energy systems that it can be using depending on the intensity and the duration of the exercise being performed. So the very first energy system that the body is going to utilize is the phosphagen system. With the phosphagen energy system, you can go at about 90 to 100% of your max power, and that exercise time is going to last about 5 to 10 seconds. So when we're looking at our phosphagen system, energy system, we're thinking along the lines of a sprinter who's running a 100-yard dash or 100-meter dash, and they're running for all out 100% for about 10 seconds. But after that, they're going to need to rest for anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes before they're able to actually do that again at 100% capacity. Now, when we move into our next system, energy system, we're talking about our fast glycolysis system. With that system, we're going to be able to work at about 75 to 90% of our max power output, and we'll be able to do that along the lines for a duration of about 15 to 30 seconds. With that being said, your work to rest ratio for this particular energy system is going to be 1 to 3 to 1 to 5, meaning that you're going to do about 30 seconds worth of exercises, and then you're going to take 90 seconds of rest. Now, it's important to note here that when we're utilizing these 2 energy systems here, we're talking about using our anaerobic energy system, and that when we're expending this type of energy, that our rest is going to be a passive rest, meaning that we are going to run for 10 seconds, everything that we got, and then we're just going to simply rest, stand still, sit, whatever we do for rest. We're just not going to do anything for that rest. Now we're going to move into our third energy system, which is the fast glycolysis oxidative system. For this particular system, our maximum power output is going to be about 30 to 75% of our max. For this particular energy system, we can create that output of about 30 to 75% of our max for anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. Now our work to rest ratio here is going to be 1 to 3, 1 to 4, meaning that you're going to do 1 to 3 minutes worth of work, but then you're going to rest for about 3 minutes. Now notice here that the intensity of the exercises are starting to come down. So as we go into our first energy system, into our second and third energy systems, you'll notice that the intensity of your effort and your ability to actually do the work is going to go down. The reason being is that the intensity is going to go down as the duration of the exercises goes up. Now here we're going to go into our aerobic exercise energy systems. So here we're going to go into our oxidative energy system, meaning that oxygen is going to be the fuel for this particular energy source. For this particular energy system, you're going to be able to work at about 20 to 30% of your maximum power output. So you'll notice that, again, the intensity has greatly reduced. However, you'll be able to maintain that intensity for greater than 3 minutes, 10 minutes, even longer. So when we're thinking about our oxidative energy systems and the expenditure of energy and the power output, think about a marathon runner. He's able to run for 10, 20, 30 miles, but notice that he's running at a much slower pace than a person that's running a 100-yard dash. So again, his intensity is coming down, but he's able to maintain that power output consistently over a much longer duration of time. Now also, one of the key differences here is that when we're moving into our oxidative energy systems, and oxygen is going to be fueling our bodies here, these two are where we go into an active rest. The difference between a passive rest and an active rest is here when we're utilizing our phosphagen system and our fast glycolysis. We're doing a passive rest, meaning that we're not doing anything but standing still, sitting down, just resting, trying to recover. When we move into our oxidative and fast glycolysis, and then move into our oxidative systems, we're going to be doing an active rest. So we're going to run for 10 minutes, then walk at a less or more moderate intensity than the actual run. So we're going to run for 10 minutes, jog for 10 minutes, walk for 5. Run for 10, walk for 5. So again, when we're moving into these different energy systems, we're going to start to change our rest from a passive rest to an active rest. Now let's talk about what exactly HIIT is. HIIT, known as high intensity interval training, what it actually is that it's brief repeated bouts of high intensity exercise with intermittent recovery times to elicit cardiopulmonary, metabolic, and neuromuscular adaptations. So again, what we're doing with HIIT is that we are taking some predetermined intervals of time, and we're going to work during those intervals, and at a predetermined time, we're going to rest. What that is doing is that is putting a great deal of stress on the cardiopulmonary system, is putting a great deal of stress on the neuromuscular system, and is putting a great deal of stress on the metabolic system. So because of those stressors there in this particular fashion, it's going to yield greater results or greater adaptations. So why is it that HIIT can yield greater adaptations than your traditional strength-based training? That is because of the time that you're able to spend over 90% of your VO2 max. Now, with that being said, because the style that HIIT is, HIIT traditionally is not utilized by someone that is looking for muscle gains and hypertrophy. HIIT is more a endurance muscular endurance style workout. It's more geared towards someone that's utilizing it in that manner, or also for someone looking to potentially lose weight, right? So why HIIT is able to elicit those adaptations is that the cumulative duration and activity periods, that should equate to several minutes over 90% of your VO2 max, and that's your body's ability to actually utilize oxygen as energy. With HIIT, your suggested work to rest ratio is greater than 1:1, maybe 2:1, but again, we're inducing greater stresses and we're getting greater adaptations utilizing HIIT. Now, one of the benefits to HIIT is that it can benefit both your oxidative muscle fiber adaptations, your myocardial, which is your chambers of your heart, specifically your left ventricle. So it is making you a lot more heart healthy, as we would say. So our heart is definitely getting stronger. It is creating some hypertrophy. It's increasing your VO2 max, and it's also increasing your anaerobic threshold. So again, I say all that to say that, again, it's going to create greater adaptations on your muscle fibers. It's going to allow your body to utilize oxygen more efficiently and more effectively. It's going to allow the heart to get stronger, against very specifically your left ventricle. Now, we're going to park right here because HIIT is not for everyone. Because of the great deal of stress that is placed on the body with HIIT, there is an increased risk of injury. So HIIT is not something that I would recommend for someone that is just coming back to the gym or new to the gym. If we're just coming back to the gym, just getting into our workouts, I would recommend doing some stability work, doing some muscular endurance work, doing some cardiovascular work to increase our capacity, our anaerobic capacity or aerobic capacity in order to then transition into HIIT. HIIT can be very, very intense. HIIT can be very fast-paced, and with that, we want to make sure that our movement patterns are accurate and correct to avoid injury. We want to make sure that the correct muscle fibers are actually firing and that there are no movement pattern issues. So those issues should be addressed prior to a person going to HIIT. So again, I do want to emphasize, HIIT is not something that I would recommend for someone that is new to the gym or just coming back to the gym. Now let's talk about an example of HIIT training. Tabata. Tabata is a very, very popular style, especially with the increase of CrossFit athletes. Tabata is very, very popular with that population because it somewhat mimics their actual competition. So with Tabata, we have a 2:1 work to rest ratio, meaning that we're going to do 8 rounds of an exercise, 20 seconds worth of work, 10 seconds worth of rest, which is going to equal about 4 minutes. So let me give an example of a Tabata workout. Tabata may be that I am going to do a military press, overhead press, for 20 seconds. I'm going to take 10 seconds to rest. I'm then going to jump up and I'm going to do 20 seconds worth of pull-ups. From there, I'm going to rest for 10 seconds and then going to give you 20 seconds worth of deadlifts. And then from there, I'm going to give you 20 seconds worth of squats, of body weight squats. So notice that, again, I'm only working for 20 seconds, but for those 20 seconds, I should be able to give you 90% to 100% of my maximum power output. However, also notice that when we're working in that methodology, that the amount of weight being moved is going to be decreased. So again, Tabata has a 2:1 work to rest ratio, 8 rounds, 20 seconds worth of work, 10 seconds worth of rest, which is going to equal 4 minutes. Here's where the magic of high intensity interval training takes place. Because we're able to incorporate that intermittent rest, we're able to work out those 20 seconds at a high intensity. So by the time that those 8 rounds are complete, we will have spent over 3 minutes above 90% of our VO2 max. And that is going to cause greater adaptations throughout the entire body. What are some of those adaptations and what are some of those benefits? Well, it's going to burn more calories and increase post-exercise fat oxidation and energy expenditures more than steady state exercise. So what that is saying is, or what I am saying here, is that because we are working out so intensely, I'm actually increasing my metabolic rate and I'm burning more calories both during my workout and after my workout. So during my workout, I'm going to be burning more calories because, again, I'm spending more time cumulatively over my VO2 max, and then post exercise, I am getting greater oxygen into the fat, which is going to oxidize that fat so that that fat starts to dissipate and melt away. Or not melt away, but start to lose some of that body fat. Now that is in comparison to a steady state exercise. So when we're talking about steady state, we're talking about, again, going for a long jog, jumping on the treadmill for 20-30 minutes, taking a bike ride for an hour. That's a steady state, meaning that you're going to be doing an exercise at a moderate pace for a very long duration. And that's where, again, where we're going into our oxidative energy systems. All right, so with HIIT, we don't want to be in the oxidative energy system. We want to be up here in the fast glycolysis and the phosphagen energy systems. Another benefit to HIIT is that HIIT decreases total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol while increasing your HDL cholesterol. So what HIIT does is that it allows you to have the improvement on your cholesterol levels. Again, by increasing your HDL cholesterol level and lowering your LDL cholesterol level. Again, your LDL cholesterol is your bad cholesterol. You want the good cholesterol, which is the HDL cholesterol. So again, we want to increase the HDL, decrease the LDL. Also, HIIT causes improvements in endothelial function, VO2 max, BMI, body fat percentage, blood pressure, and glucose regulation, more so than steady state exercises. So notice that what I am doing here is that I am comparing HIIT to your traditional steady state workout. So again, your steady state workout is your moderate intensity, long duration workout. Again, where you're on the treadmill for 20-30 minutes, XYZ. HIIT has a much greater ability to make the body adapt because it has a greater stress on the body. So again, HIIT is going to improve your body's ability to utilize oxygen as energy. HIIT is going to reduce your body fat percentage. It's going to help you with your BMI. HIIT, due to its stress on the heart, is actually going to help you improve your blood pressure, and it's also going to help regulate and improve your glucose regulation in your body. Fourthly, HIIT has shown to result in a reduced risk of cardiovascular events in both males and females and decrease all causes of mortality. So again, because of the stress that's being placed on the body, because of the training, the body adapts and it improves the cardiovascular functions of the body. That is to be found in both males and females, that there is an improvement of cardiovascular health, and it does reduce the risk of cardiovascular events, both in males and females. And lastly, in patients with cardiovascular disease, HIIT has been shown to be superior to steady state in reducing blood pressure, improving endothelial function, lipid profiles, your VO2 max, again, your myocardial health, specifically your left ventricle of the heart, and overall myocardial function. So again, HIIT is great for someone who has high blood pressure. HIIT is great for someone that is recovering from some type of cardiovascular event. Now, let me park it here for one more moment. If you've had any type of risk of a medical condition, always make sure that you get your doctor's approval for any type of physical activity. And with HIIT, because it does place a greater stress on your cardiovascular system, it does improve it. However, there are risks associated with it. So you do want to make sure that you're going to be speaking to a medical professional and let them know, hey, I'm looking to do some HIIT training and this is what it means, blah, blah, blah. Is it okay for me to do these types of workouts? He may say, hey, you can do it, but just do it a little bit less intense and work your way up. As your cardiovascular system starts to improve, we can start to increase and ramp up that intensity. So again, it has been shown to improve your blood pressure by reducing it. It shows that it does improve your lipid profiles, your body's ability to actually oxygenate the blood and utilize that oxygen as fuel, and your overall myocardial health, again, very specifically with the left ventricle of the heart. So, is HIIT right for you? Well, that depends on what is your fitness goal. If your fitness goal is to get big and bulky and super strong, maybe not. Is HIIT for you if you're looking to get powerful and be able to move weight fast and create force quickly? Absolutely. Is HIIT for you if you're looking to actually drop a few pounds and get back into a size that you may have been last year or a few years ago? Absolutely. But with everything, always seek professional advice. This is Coach Lay saying, if you like the content that we're providing here today, please make sure to like, share, and to subscribe. And always, live, love, and train Magis. Coach Lay out.